Hey everybody, it's Clay on the trail. It's August 20th of 2020. I am at some ridiculous trailhead that I'm not telling you where I'm at today. I'm gonna go see if I can get lost. I'm taking a trail I've never been on before to a place I've never been before. It's one of those places, well, a friend of mine told me there's some really good fishing. I'll bring you along, I'll show you the tour, but you'll have to figure out where I went on your own. So, just a day hike. It's in the Propst book. It said only 4 miles in, 4 miles out, but everything else I've read says it's 5. So I got a little bit of hiking ahead of me today. Hopefully we can catch a big old fat fish. Starting at like noon. Worst time in the world to start to go fish, but I'm either gonna get lost or I guess I'll find where I'm going. I don't have too many choices. Looks like some people have been riding bikes up here too. This might be a good trail. So anyway, I am following a river. It is a major river, but not very well traveled one. We'll see what let's see now. There's some really cool stuff happening already. I'm not a few hundred yards from the trail. Looks like some old tie hat cabins. All right, here's clue number 2. I'm going right there. Here's some more cabins. There's a guard station nearby here, and I don't know if this is old guard stuff or if this really is kayak stuff. Here's the river right down here. It's pretty shallow. I plan on hitting it a couple times with my fly rod, but it's late in the season. Things are very dry, and I'm not sure how hard this area gets hit. There was way more vehicles at the trailhead than I anticipated by the fact that there were vehicles at the trailhead. All right, so I'm not even a half mile in. Trail just ended at the end of that meadow there. There are no cairns. I don't see any markings in trees. This is definitely not a well-marked trail. I have the destination put in my phone on my Gaia GPS, so I know which way I'm going, but I'm guessing this is the reason there's big old fish in this lake. Because you're gonna have to know how to get there. Either currants or gooseberries. No berries on them though. Shout out to my son, he just made me a gooseberry pie. It's a treat I haven't had since my grandpa was alive 25 years ago. Now I'm gonna have to plant some gooseberries so I can have one at least one a year. It's all a guy really needs. All right, well, I ain't gonna say I'm lost, but I have no idea where the trail is. We'll say that. I'll just keep following the river up because I know that's where I want to go. All right, yeah, nice shot there, Cash. Just like that, the trail's back. Cruising again. So there's my next obstacle. He's a range bull. You know, sometimes they're just like any other animal. They'll run from you, and sometimes they will try to stomp you into the ground. There is another one. Here, that's just a cow. I'm not really worried about the cows. He sees my dog though, and he may not take kindly to him. So, may have to climb up a hill and go around. I don't know whose cows they are. Some people leave their cows out year round and they're not real people friendly. Other guys go out and talk to them all the time and they're all right. All right, they seem to be pretty content to go down there. The cow actually ran down the hill. And now they're leaving. We're all right. You just never knows. One never knows what a cow's gonna do. I've been raised around them a good part of my life. You never know if they're gonna leave you be or try to eat you. So there is something a little intimidating about being out in the middle of an open meadow. Cows and calves. There's 3 big bulls over there, and as soon as they saw me, they started pawing the dirt and rubbing on trees and being all crazy. I don't think they care about me, but they will not like my dog. They're bellowing, making all sorts of noise. I don't have a real good map or trail, and I would have guessed the trail went up this other draw. But I was able to zoom up enough that this section of the trail isn't downloaded on my map, so it's very fuzzy. But here's the trail right here. And there's more buildings and stuff up here. Looks like I'm hitting the wilderness area, which I would not have guessed. And it looks like I'm crossing the river right here, which I again wouldn't have guessed. Thank goodness for waterproof shoes. And rocky places to cross. Here's a little more modern construction. Round nails. Slab. They must have had a mill or something up here. Right down here, I'll see if I can get another shot of it. It was like a loading ramp where you could roll the logs out, and it went out somewhat level, and the ground drops out from underneath it. Then you can pull a vehicle or a wagon or something below it and load. It was in pretty bad shape. It took me a minute to kind of figure out what it was. This trail sure is hit or miss. It'll hit a meadow and it just disappears. And I kind of know the vague direction I'm going, so I hit the other side and just kind of keep walking, and eventually I pick it back up. Lots of lightning and thunder today. We're having a heat wave here in Wyoming, Utah area. We don't get up into the 90s very often. But we've had several days in the 90s. Salt Lake area is hitting 100 plus. Which is reason number whatever 100 I need to not want to live there. Of course, where I live is not for everybody either. There's the first real good Forest Service marker I've seen, other than the wilderness sign. So this cloud cover, even with the thunder I'm hearing, is welcome. You guys that live back east with your 100-degree weather and 100% humidity, whew, I don't know how you do it. I'll take my 20 and 30 below degree winters over that. To each their own. Alright, so the winds have really picked up. You can hear branches breaking all over, and I just heard a tree fall. So I guess I still can't answer the question of if no one's there to hear it, because I heard it, but this is it. Branches breaking everywhere, thunder. I'm not seeing any lightning. But obviously where there's thunder, there's lightning. It might be some in-cloud stuff. There's a Rocky Mountain Jay up here. There he goes. And some big old raindrops. They feel really good though. Cash is scared of the thunder, which I understand, but he likes to come hide underneath my legs when he hears it. Whew. I may have to get the old rain jacket out, but if I can stay in the trees, I'm going to try to avoid it. It'd feel good to get cooled off. I just don't want to get chilled. Alright, I just popped out a tree line into these meadows. Man, this, I think, is the river. And it is deep right here. I mean, it's only 2.5 foot wide. It's got to be 3 foot deep. If it's not that river, it's got to be a piece of it anyway. What an ugly place to be. Middle of a lightning storm. That might not be the river. I really have no idea. I'm just speculating once again. Seemed like there should be fish in them, but didn't see any. That took just a minute to get across that big meadow there. The river forks there and comes from 2 different directions. I was following the wrong fork. I just had to backtrack, not backtrack, but hit cross country about 1/4 mile. Find this trail again. I wouldn't be lost without the Gaia, but might not make it to where I was going. Going this way, the Rivers all fork different directions, going the other way. All I had to do was turn around and follow them. They all merge together and go right to where my truck is, going the other way. Haven't had to put my rain jacket on yet, but I am questioning how bad I want to get to this lake and whip out a 12-foot carbon fiber rod in a lightning storm. Hopefully it mellows by the time I get there. All right, right in front of me here, the trail that I'm on dead ends onto another trail. Not going to show you what it says, but I am going to no longer go on a trail. Seems to be lightening up too. That helps. Looks like I'm not the only person that goes here, because even though there's not a trail here, there's a pretty good path. Holy crap, guys, I'm like a half mile from the lake or less, and I actually found cranberries on the bush. They're not overly ripe, but they are sweet. Ooh, and tangy. I've been waiting for these to come out all year long. I thought I missed them. Turns out I was just a little early. Delicious. They're my favorite. Wild edible out here. I keep finding all these trails, but I keep going across them and then finding another one. Haven't seen any blueberries or bearberries yet this year. Okay, last little obstacle to get there. I've been following an adult shoe print and a kid shoe print all the way up here till this last little stretch. So I don't think I'm going to be alone, but we'll give the other folks their space. It's 3 o'clock, so it took me 3 hours to get just over 5 miles. Okay, here's first glimpse. I'm gonna put the big black beetle with the purple belly on it, shad special. See if we can't catch us a whopper. He was just up here last week and he said these were 16 to 18 class. Woohoo! Let's see if I can get down here without breaking my legs. So, this father, and I'm guessing father and son behind me, they just hiked up today. They're going to spend all day tomorrow and go out the next day, whatever day that is. They just started fishing. He just caught a little one. They're both running spinners. I have seen several jump, but not had any luck, or actually physically seen any. It's the problem with doing a day hike. You get up here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you got to go before dark, and that's when the fishing gets good. But we'll see. I may make the full loop, and I may hit this other end and skedaddle. I'm going to be home with the drive and everything I have being on this side 7, 8 o'clock tonight. There's some big fish jumping out here though. Yeah, this is turning out to be a bust. I had 2 nice 14 to 16 inch rookies attacking my fly bit. They just wouldn't take it. They were knocking it out of the water, jumping out of the water, jumping on top of it, and then they just quit. There's one been jumping over here, but then it just started raining. It's not helping anything out. I'm not going to say I'm giving up, but I gotta start getting out of here. All right. I gave up on fishing. It's a problem with these little day hikes. I gotta be home before dark, or I want to be home. Oh, I just ran up that hill. Anyway, so I can't stay long. And 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon is not good fishing time. So I found a bunch more cranberries, and there was actually some bearberries on the plants, but no blueberries. So I showed a couple of guys up here some of the plants I knew. They were asking about them. So Ollie was the young man's name. I didn't catch the dad's name. I hope he caught a bunch of fish. I told him about my channel. And they're gonna stay, like I said, till a couple of days. And I bet the fishing up here is spectacular first thing in the morning and right as the sun goes down. But it's not worth a crap at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I will definitely be back. A overnighter. This place is begging to be explored. There's a trail, the big mountain that the big mountain that goes right behind us there. There's a trail that goes right over the top of it, but nothing that comes to this lake. The trail does come out at this other end, and there was actually a tent set up. I'm not really sure what loop or whatever somebody's doing, but they had kind of a weird, what I would consider to be a weird campsite. Do some Bear Grylls action here. Anyway, not somewhere I would camp, but I'm not on their trail, so good to see people out. But this is how the Uintas usually are. You may or may not run into somebody. Not like the Highline Trail where we were meeting, oh shoot, 5 or 6 people every hour. So I don't have anybody else to blame but myself too. Guys like me, we run all over the Uintas and tell people where to go hike, camp, and fish, and then get pissed off at them when they actually do it. So from now on I will still do some big trips and let people know where I'm going, and there will be some trips where I keep to myself, like this one. I just came out of this trail here, and I hit this other cross trail, and I guess I'll show you the sign here. Yeah, you still don't know where I'm at. But I did not come out where I went up. Decisions. But there's the other sign. I can see it from here, so not very far out, probably about 50 feet from the other place I went up. So the nice thing about going out, for one, most places in the Uinta it's downhill. I'm making way better time than it was going in. I was 3 hours going in. I should hit somewhere in the 2-ish hours. Man, this trail still sucks. The other good thing about it, though, is when I come out in these big old meadows like this, I know where to go. I'm not backtracking. That's that big meadow right there that I went to the wrong end in. Had to cut across it all the way the other side. Jump both forks of the river, which were jumpable, thank goodness. But it's no wonder I missed the trail in the meadow. The trail isn't in the meadow. So I'm cruising through this meadow, and Cash just keeps kicking my back of my feet on my heels. And he knows to give me space when I'm hiking. We've been through that before. I turn around, yell at him, and there's a big old black cow down sniffing and snorting at him. He was trying to crawl between my legs to get away from her. So I got me a cow club. She'll try my dog. I don't think they'll ever hurt a person, but when she tries my dog, he comes and hides between my legs. So we've got the whole herd here upset. She's just trying to protect her calf. I don't blame what she's doing. Dogs, coyotes, wolves would be natural predators to them. But I don't want to get smushed today. Okay, so earlier in the video I was talking about a ramp or something. This may have been, I don't know, a dam for the mill? Something. Because it just progressively gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the creek runs through it, and then there's another little building over here. Maybe they were backing the water up. And running a water wheel or running something. I'm late. I don't really want to be any later, but looks like the river runs through it or goes around it. I can't tell anymore. All right, that's going to be my guess. There's a flume right here. The water would have come through and run some sort of wheel or something. They've got it partly dammed up all the way around. And this would have been a big old meadow that they flooded to get enough water pressure to run something. All right, guys, So my 10-mile day hike turned into 14 miles. I'm just like 13.9 something. 100 yards or so from my truck. These are the first cabins I saw coming in. No fish. I will definitely go back. That place is begging to be fished. The dad of this kid there had a little fish, and I didn't see it. I don't know how little it was. It might have been decent. Who knows? But I saw some big fish in there. I am wore out. I am a firm believer, if you're going to do a day hike like this, to start in the morning. That way if something goes wrong, you have your afternoon to think about it and figure it out. I had to do some construction bid on the way over here. And it's quite a drive over here. I probably still have a 2-hour drive home. Hour and a half anyway. Depends on which way I go. I would have much rather started first thing in the morning. It just didn't work out that way. So, definitely a redo, but it will be an overnight redo. I'm not going to hike 14 miles in a day again. Thank you for coming along. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Share. Help me grow my channel. Get out there, explore, have a good time.